Okay, fine. So good morning. So welcome all for this applied thermodynamics class, and we were looking at in the last class we were looking at the expression for work done in a compressor with clearance volume, and we ended up with an equation where given by WC is equal to n by n minus 1 into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1 into P1 into V1 minus V4, and V1 minus V4 we call it as delivery volume. Is it an alternate way of representing this in terms only of temperatures? This expression 3 is fine. So can we use my characteristic gas equation PV is equal to MRT or relations between P2 by P1 or T2 by T1? Can I write this expression in terms of temperatures? That's all. So equation 3 in terms of temperatures. So if you want to do that, so as already I told that air is considered as the working substance. Let us try to write the characteristic gas equations. Okay. So the characteristic gas equation using the characteristic gas equation, characteristics gas equation or air equation, what we call PV is equal to MRT. So at 1, okay, at point 1, I'll write it as P1 V1 is equal to MRT1. Okay, now let me write M1 because M1 is the mass of air at inlet, okay, and M2 is mass of air at exit or outlet, whatever it may be. So difference in between M1 and M2 is the mass of air that is working. Okay, that is the unit of mass. So that is the amount of mass that is existing, or what is the mass which is under which your compressor is working. Okay, now at point 2, the same equation I can write it as P2 V2 is equal to M2 into R into T2. Okay, now at 3, it is P3 V3 is equal to, it is actually 3 means actually if you go and see, what is it actually? If I go back here, see M1 is the inlet. So M2 and M3, see point 2 and 3 will have the same amount of mass. So it will be M2 into R into T3. Now coming back to 1 actually, it will come back to your mass for 1 actually. So I can write it as M, so it will be M1 at the inlet, M2 at the point 2, M2 at point 3 and M2. So it will be M1, so it will be M2 at, see here if it is M1, here also it is M2, here also it will be M2, here also it will be M2. So it will be mass of air that will be at the exit or the whatever it may be. This is what we will be having. Okay. Now if I try to look at it, actually this is the amount of mass which is there inside. At each and every given point I can write M2, M2. So here M2, M2. So now if you look at it, actually what happens here, so it is M1. So because this is the mass of air that goes in, and at 2 it will be M1. Sorry, M1 at 1, M1 at 2, M2 at 3 and M2 at 4 because this is the exit points. Okay, because these exit points, these are my inlet points or entry points. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I will just go here and change it. So this will be M2 into R2, this will be M1 into R into T2, or at point 3 I can write it as, this will be M2 into R into T3, and at point 4 this will be P4 V4 is equal to M2 into R into T4. Okay, so M1 into R into T1, M1 into R into T2, M2 into R into T3, and M2 into R into T4. This is what. Now let's try to write the temperature and pressure relationships. Okay, temperature and pressure relationships. Pressure relationships. What we have actually, you know that T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n. Okay. Now similarly, I can write T4 by T3. Okay. Similarly, I can write T4 by T3 is equal to P3 by, see, if you go back and see, this will be P4 by P3. T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by whole to the power n minus 1, P4 by P3 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n. Okay. Or if you go back and see what is your pressure ratio, pressure ratio is nothing but your P2 by P1. Okay. Then let me go back here. So what is your pressure ratio? It is P2 by P1. So P2 by P1. See, P2 is equal to P3, P4 is equal to P1. Okay, P2 is equal to P3 and P4 is equal to P1. So wherever I have P4, I can replace with P1. Where I have P3, I can replace with P2. Okay, I can write T4 by T1 is equal to T4 by T3. I can write it as P1 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1. Okay, this is also equal to, this is P3 by P4. This is my pressure ratio. Okay, RP is nothing but pressure ratio, just to simplify it. This is as per, see, I am trying to follow the equation PV to the power of n is equal to constant, where n value can vary from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to gamma. And in between, I will be having a polytropic process. When n is equal to 1, it is isothermal. When n is equal to gamma, it is adiabatic. Okay, this is what we have. Now, what is this actually? So from here, I can write, so I can combine this equation. So I can write it as T2 by T1 is equal to, okay, T2 by T1 is equal to T4 by T3. Okay, sorry, T3 by T4. Okay, I can write it as, this equation is P2 by P1. So T3 by, I have to write 1 upon this particular thing. So this will be T3 by T4 will be equal to T3 by T4. So or T4 by T3 is equal to, or T1 by T2, whatever the way I want to write it. So T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4 is equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n. This is what I can do. Now what I'm going to do actually, if you go back to this equation, I can write P2 by P1 to the power of n minus 1 by n as simply T2 by T1. Okay. Then P1 V1. Okay. So P1 I can write it as MRP1 and P1 V4. Okay. P1 V4. So I can write it as MR, because here if you come over here, P1 is equal to P4. So P1 V4 is equal to M2 RT4. So substituting for this equation, so that is P2, that is P1 V4 is equal to MRT4, and substituting for P1 V1 as MRT1, and substituting for T2 by T1 as P2 by P1. So this equation. So I am going to substitute in equation 3. Okay, substituting for all that actually, substituting for P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n, then P1 V1 and P1 V4, okay, in the work done expression. What we are going to get actually, we will be getting work of compression is equal to n by n minus 1 as it is. So wherever you have the P2, so I can write it as T2 by T1 minus 1. Okay. Then I can write M1 R T1 minus M2 or T4, because this is for P1 V1, P1 V4. So this is the expression what I have. Now I will simplify this. What I will do? N by N minus 1. Okay. So M1 actually I can write it as R, it's common. I can write it as M1 minus M2 into R into T. So it is actually, so if I try to take T1 outside, okay, if I try to take T1 outside, so this will become T1 as the bottom, so T1 gets cancelled. So this equation, so T1 gets cancelled, it will become T2 minus T1. So M1 minus M2, so this equation, so I can write it as T1, T2 minus T1 by T1. If I take T1, 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 T1 cancels, so I'm left with T2 minus T1. Okay. So now, what is this actually? I'm left with this M1 minus M2. Okay. What is this M1 minus M2? If I take, if M is equal to M1 minus M2, that is the mass of air that is inside. So this equation will become, this will become N by N minus 1 into M into R into T2 minus T1. Okay. Why this particular thing is actually, if you look at it, my T1 is almost equal to T4. Okay. My T1 is almost equal to T4. Under this condition only, I'll be able to get this equation. Okay. So this equation I am calling it as equation number 4. This is the equation in terms of temperature, and this is equation 3, which is in terms of pressure and volume. So this is for the expression for the work done in a by a compressor with clearance volume. So anything they can ask, you should be able to derive it. Is that clear? Okay, fine. Now let us go to the next part of it, that is efficiencies of the compressors. Efficiencies associated with the compressors. Efficiencies of the compressor. Let us try to study a couple of efficiencies. The first one is the volumetric efficiency. Volumetric efficiency. It is defined by eta volume. What is it actually? It is the ratio of volume of the air that is delivered to the swept volume. Okay, if I try to take the ratio of, so this is the ratio of volume of the air delivered, volume of the air delivered to the swept volume. Swept volume. Okay, let's try to write a PV diagram, then we'll try to understand this. So what is this actually? So go back and we'll write the PV diagram. PV swept volume is nothing but it's a stroke volume, same thing. Okay, so this is my pressure, volume, and this is from suction, that is at the inlet pressure. If I call this as 4, 1, it's getting compressed to a particular point, pressure 2, then it's going to point 3, then there is a little bit of expansion. So this is 0.3 and 4, this is my inlet pressure, this is my exit pressure, and I do have a clearance volume which is Vc. So this is my clearance volume, this is my clearance volume, and this will be my swept volume. We call this as Vs stroke volume or swept volume, and this is my clearance volume, and this is my P2, which is also equal to P3, and this is my P1, which is also equal to P4. So this is what already we have seen. Same thing I am rewriting. Now what is the amount of air delivered here? Okay, already we have seen what is the amount of air delivered. V1 minus V4. Look at this delivery volume, V1 minus V4. What is the amount of air? Okay, I can see what is the amount of air that is delivered, means it is the V1 minus V4. Let me write that. Okay, volume of air delivered. Okay, so let me call that as V air delivered is equal to V1 minus V4. Okay, what is V1? V1 I can write it as stroke volume plus clearance volume. Okay, I can write, see, V1 is equal to Vs plus Vc, where Vs is the stroke volume and Vc is the clearance volume. So I can write this expression as Vs plus Vc minus V4. So let me call this as equation number 1. So this is the volume of air delivered. Now consider the process 3 to 4. Okay. Now for the process 3 to 4, process 3 to 4. So it's a polytropic. I know it's a polytropic. I can write, say this is according to PV to power of n is equal to constant. So this will be P3 V3 to power of n is equal to P4 V4 to power of n, or I can write V4 by V3 is equal to, so what it will be, V4 by V3 is equal to, if I try to write, this will be P3 by P4. Okay, this will be P3 by P4 whole to the power of 1 by n. What is P3? P3 is equal to P2 and P4 is equal to P1. So I can write it as this as P2 by P1 whole to the power of 1 by n. Okay, what is this actually P2 by P1? It's a pressure ratio. Okay, already we have defined. Rp is equal to pressure ratio, which is P2 by P1. It is also equal to P3 by P4. Okay, now what will happen to your V4? Therefore, so I can write V4 by V3 is equal to Rp to the power of 1 by n, or I can write V4 is equal to Rp to the power of 1 by n into V3. So let me call this as equation number 2. So what I'm going to do, substitute for this V4 from equation 2 in equation 1. Okay, substitute for V4 in equation 1. What I'm going to get actually, so volume of air delivered is equal to your stroke volume, that is Vs plus Vc minus V4. I will write it as, so what is your V3? We know that V3 is equal to Vc. If you go back and see here, stroke, your clearance volume is your Vc, or I can write it as Vc Rp to the power of 1 by n. Okay, so Vs plus Vc minus Vc into Rp to the power of 1 by n. Now if you look at this, I can have a common between these two. So this will become, so Vs, okay, Vs plus Vc, or I can write it if I try to, this is a common, so this is a separate bracket. Okay, so now if I try to look at this actually, Vs plus Vc minus Vc into Rp to the power of 1 minus n, or I can write Vs plus Vc, if I take common, it will be 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 minus n. So volume of air delivered volume of air delivered I can write in that particular fashion. Volume of air delivered is equal to Vs plus Vc. If I take common, this will be 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 by n. Okay, now if I take some C, okay, this is the expression what I have. If I take some common, what is that? Some ratio C is equal to stroke volume to your clearance volume to stroke volume. The ratio of stroke volume to clearance volume. This is clearance ratio or something they call it as. So the ratio of clearance volume to stroke volume, if I take that as C, okay, then what will happen to, so then I can write Vc is equal to C into Vs. So I can write Vc is equal to C into Vs. This is an assumption. So I call it that particular thing. I'm making an assumption. So wherever Vc is there, I can write in terms of C into Vs. Or I can write, this will be Vs plus Vs into, sorry, C into Vs. C into Vs into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 by n. Or if I take Vs outside, if I take Vs outside, this will be, okay, this will be, see, if I try to take Vs outside, this will be 1 plus, so this, no, I need to retain it actually. I need to retain this C into Vs. If I take Vs outside, this will be 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 minus n, and one more bracket. So Vc into 1 plus your clearance volume into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 minus n. Some of the books, what they give actually, this is the volume of air delivered. This is the volume of air delivered. So I call this as equation number 3. Some books actually what they are given is actually, they are given volume of air delivered multiplied by minus they have done. So Vs into 1 minus C into Rp to the power of 1 minus n minus 1. You will end up with the same thing. Okay, you will end up with the same thing. So both the way it's fine. So both the way it's fine. So you retain with whatever the thing you are delivered. Okay, now we have got the expression for volume of air delivered. Then what is your swept volume? It is Vs. Now if you go back and see volumetric efficiency, so therefore your volumetric efficiency, okay, volumetric efficiency, volume is equal to, so we will substitute for volume of air delivered, that is Vs into 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 minus n, okay, divided by simply the stroke volume. So this will be 1 plus C. So C is equal to Vc by Vs. Okay, C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 by n. Okay, so this will be the expression, because this Vs just simply cancel out. So the expression for, let me write at the bottom, that's better. So your expression for volumetric efficiency is equal to 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 minus n. Okay, some of the books they write in the other fashion also. So what they write it actually, they write it in 1 minus. So 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 by n. Or if you want, I can write Rp in terms of volume also, because P2 by P1, because I'm see, if you go back, so this is your expression. I can replace Rp by P2 by P1, or I can write P1 by P1 V1 is equal to P2 V to the power of n, P2 V to the power of n, or I can write P2 by P1. Okay, so P2 by P1 whole to the power of 3, or I can write it as V1 by V2. Let me write. So V1 by V2 is equal to, so P2 by P1 whole to the power of 1 by n. So this is actually pressure ratio. So this is nothing but V1 by V2 is equal to Rp to the power of 1 by n. So what I can do is actually I can replace P2 by P1 in terms of volume. The same expression I can write it as the volumetric efficiency is equal to 1 plus C into 1 minus V1 by V2. So this also I can write. I can write in terms of pressure ratio, which is P2 by P1, or I can write in terms of volumetric ratio, which is V1 by V2. So both are correct. Whatever the way you want, you can write it. So this is the expression for your volumetric efficiency. Now, see, sometimes this volumetric efficiency, see, this is the volumetric efficiency based on your working conditions. Is it possible for us to write the volumetric efficiency in terms of ambient conditions? Okay, volumetric efficiency in terms of ambient conditions. We call that as free air delivered. Okay, we call that as free air delivered. So free air delivered means, say if I consider the your ambient temperature as 15 degrees and your ambient pressure as 1.01325 bar. So what is the amount of air delivered at that condition? We call that as free air delivered. Okay, and the volumetric efficiency based on that particular condition is called as volumetric efficiency on ambient conditions. Okay, so let's write that. So volumetric efficiency based on ambient conditions, ambient conditions. Then what will happen to your ambient conditions? What is your ambient conditions? So we know PV is equal to MRT. Ambient conditions means it's NTP. NTP, normal temperature and pressure conditions. Or I can write, see, PA, that is ambient condition, PA VA by your TAT ambient. Okay, what is your PA? It's your inlet pressure. Okay, I can write it as P1. What is the amount of air that's going in? So that is your V1 minus V4. Okay, then what is your TA? So that is your T1. Okay, so I'm trying to see this. Why I'm trying to look at this particular thing is actually, see, this is the amount of air that is entering in at this particular point. See, if you try to look at this particular condition at 1, if you look at it, see, this is the condition of the air that's getting in here. That is, from the ambient condition, the PA VA by TA should be equal to your P1, and what is the volume at that particular point? It is V1 minus V4 divided by your T1. So I am trying to look at this condition with your ambient condition. I am trying to equate it at this particular point and trying to get the expression for it. So now if I try to write the expression for VA, so your VA is equal to P1 into V1 minus V4 divided by T1 into, do a cross multiplication, that is TA by PA. TA by your PA. So volume of the air at the ambient condition can be obtained by this expression. Okay, from this expression. So volume of the air is equal to, if I know the P1, if I know the V1 minus V4, if I know the T ambient condition, divided by PA into TA, if I PA into T1, if I do, I'll be getting that. Now what is it actually? This VA is the amount of volume that is delivered at ambient condition. So your volumetric efficiency at ambient condition is equal to your volume of the air at the ambient condition divided by your Stokes volume. Okay, what is your volume of the air delivered at the ambient condition? Already I have the expression, that is P1 into V1 minus V4 divided by T1 into TA by PA. Then what is your stroke volume, or what is your this particular thing? I can write it as a, what is your Vs? So what is your Vs? If I try to write in terms of Vs, I will end up with the expression for your ambient condition. So P1 into V1 minus V4 into TA divided by PA into T1. Okay. Now I need to write for Vs. So what is your Vs? Vs is equal to V1 minus Vc. Okay. See your Vs is equal to V1 minus V3. Okay. So now into the whole thing divided by your stroke volume. Your stroke volume is nothing but V1 minus your VCR, we call it as V3. V1 minus V3. Okay. Now if we want to substitute this and try to simplify this. So P1 into V1 minus V4 into TA divided by PA into T1 into what is V1 minus Vs? So V1 is nothing but what actually, if you go back and see here. So we have defined this particular thing. See, V1 minus V4, we write it as Vs plus Vc minus V4. Okay, Vs plus Vc minus V4. I'm going to write the same thing. So V4 is equal to what? Rp to the power of R, V3 into Rp to the power of 1 minus n. I'm going to write the same expression for the V4. Okay, V4 I'm going to end up with the same expression. So V1 minus V4, this expression. Okay, V1 minus V4, I will write it as, where is it actually? Yeah. So V1 minus V4, I am writing it as this V1 minus V3. Sorry, V1 minus V3. So V3 is nothing but your Vc, and V1 is nothing but your Vs plus Vc. Okay, V1 is nothing but Vs, okay, plus, sorry, this is Vs actually. V1 I am writing it as Vs plus Vc minus V3 as Vs. I have to write in terms of V1. So if you go back and see, so V1 I can write it as yeah. I have to write in terms of V1. Okay. So V1 minus V4. So V1 is nothing but Vs plus Vc. Okay, V1 is equal to Vs plus Vc. That's fine. V3 is nothing but Vc. So I have to write V1 minus V3 is nothing but it is Vs. Okay, it's fine. So that's directly it is Vs. Okay, directly it's Vs here. Okay, now V1 minus V4 I have to write. So V1 minus V4, so this is actually P1 into TA divided by PA into T1. So V1 minus V4, I will write it from this particular thing. V1 minus V4, that is volume of air delivered, this expression. Vs into 1 plus C into, okay, Vs into 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 by n, the whole thing divided by Vs. So Vs just simply cancel out. So for the volumetric efficiency at ambient condition, the only extra thing I have to do is actually, that is P1 into TA divided by PA into T1 into 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 by n. So this is the expression which I need to do extra. So this, I call this as equation number 6. See, the regular volumetric efficiency is only 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 upon N. Rp to the power 1 by N. The only thing is at ambient condition, I should just, this is an extra term. This is an extra term, that is P1 into T ambient divided by P ambient into T1. If I try to multiply that, I'll be getting the expression for volumetric efficiency at ambient conditions. Okay. Now, if it is at free air delivered, see, the same expression, if it is at free air delivery condition, okay. So, free air delivered, free air delivered. So, this is the condition they going to. What is it actually? If the condition of the air is 15 degrees Celsius, okay, that means your ambient condition itself, see, your ambient condition is at 15 degrees and your ambient pressure is 1.01325 bar. That condition we call it as free air condition or free air delivered. So the condition for this actually, so some of the books they call it as FAD, free air delivered is actually. So wherever you have VA, I will replace with your TF. That is your corresponding condition. That is, this will be V1 minus V4 divided by T1. So if I am going to this expression, so this expression or this expression, wherever you have TA, I'll replace with F. PA, it's actually free air condition. So this will be, the expression will be TF by, expression will be TF by PF. TF by PF. And this is called as free air delivered condition. Even for that also, volumetric efficiency for free air delivered condition. So TA, so the expression will be, so volumetric efficiency, the volumetric for free air delivered condition, what it will be? This will be P1 into TF divided by PF into T1 into 1 plus C into 1 minus Rp to the power of 1 minus N. So this equation also you can check it. Doing the same kind of a derivation, if you substitute, wherever you have ambient condition, you will end up with a free air delivered condition. Okay. Now, as I told, you see, if you look at this expression, if you look at the expression volumetric efficiency, okay, volumetric efficiency, whatever it may be, it can be ambient condition or free air delivered condition or your regular condition. So the volumetric efficiency is directly a function of your pressure ratio or your volume ratio. But to be very precise, it's actually a function of pressure ratio. I can cross-check this particular value. Okay, I can cross-check this particular value by drawing a graph. What is it actually? If the volumetric efficiency is something like this on y-axis, and I have the pressure ratio on x-axis. So Rp on x-axis and your volumetric efficiency on y-axis. So try to vary from 0, some 0.1 or 0.2 like this. You go up to a pressure ratio of around 5 or 10 and all. You try to check how my volumetric efficiency will increase. Okay, where, see here, I can go in steps. I can go in steps. See, what are the different conditions I need to check? You have to end up with a curve something like this. The volumetric efficiency will decrease with increase in pressure ratio. You will be getting different curves. So I want to give you a homework here where I want you people to work on your Excel sheet. I want you people to get used to that actually. What is it actually? See, you try to vary this C. That is, C is the ratio of your VC to VS. So vary this C from a value of 0.05 to 0.15 in steps of 0.01. Okay, in steps of 0.01. Okay, let me write that. So in steps of 0.01. And also, so one of you, say you people try. One can try with n is equal to 1.05. One can try with n is equal to 1.1. So n also vary from, so n also you vary from 1 to 1.4 in steps of 0.05. Okay. And also pressure ratio. Okay, pressure ratio, I think rather than going in 0.1 and all, you won't get it. You start with, let me start with a number 2, that will be better. 2 and go up to a value of 70, 80. Let me go up to 100, that's fine. So RP, you start with a pressure ratio of as small as 2 and go up to 100. Okay, so in steps of, so this being in steps of either 0.5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, or 2, 2.5, this thing. And try to plot. See, don't try all the things. If I take C is equal to 0.05, you take value of C, N is equal to 1.1. So rather 1, you take N is equal to 1.1, then take pressure ratio is equal to 2. One student can try. Then other student can try. So C is equal to 0.06, N is equal to 1.15, and pressure ratio is equal to 2.5 or 3. Like that, I'm giving different options for you, and you people can try for this particular condition from the Excel and try to get this plot. What is it? What is the outcome actually? How steep actually? So if I try to superimpose for two different conditions, whether this particular thing will become flatter or does it become steeper? That's what I want. I want an answer from you. Sir, if I increase the value of n from 1 to 1.1 to 1.4, it is becoming more flatter. If I try to increase the pressure ratio for a given pressure ratio for a value of n is equal to 1.2, it is more flatter compared to n is equal to 1.1 for the same pressure ratio. So such type of comments is what I'm expecting from you. Will you able to do this particular exercise? Okay, do this simple exercise. I want you people to look into this particular exercise and come back to me and give me the answer. What is it actually? Okay. So I have the one more efficiency, then I will try to wind up because we have the multi-staging next week. Next class tomorrow I'm going to do. I'll discuss on the isothermal efficiency. The second efficiency is isothermal efficiency. Isothermal efficiency. What is it actually? See, isothermal efficiency is the ratio of isothermal work to actual work. Okay, this is your iso efficiency. The isothermal efficiency is equal to the ratio of isothermal work from the compressor to the actual work of the compressor. I'm going to take, what is isothermal efficiency? I can write it as P1 V1 ln of P2 by P1, and actual is actually n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2. So I can write in terms of that. So I can write it as the isothermal work is actually P1 V1, okay, into ln of P2 by P1. That's an isothermal work divided by, okay, your actual is actually n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. If you want, I can substitute P1 V1 in terms of, I know that P1 V1 is equal to MRT1. I can substitute P1 V1 in terms of MRT1. And we know that RP is equal to pressure ratio, which is P2 by P1. I can substitute for wherever I have the P2 by P1, I can substitute in terms of RP. Okay, let me do that actually. So P1 V1 just simply cancel out. If you try to look at this, P1 V1, they simply cancel out. I'm left with, okay, I'm left with n minus 1 by n. I can take it to the numerator. This will become n by n minus 1 will become n by n minus 1 by n into ln of P2 by P1. I can write it as RP divided by, okay, Rp to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So this is your isothermal efficiency. So this expression, let me call it as equation number 9. So this is the expression for isothermal system. Now this isothermal efficiency is the one which is very closer to your ideal one, because the work done in isothermal gas is the least one, but in an actual one it is much higher, and isothermal efficiency will be the highest possible efficiency for any kind of compression, reciprocating compression, and the actual one is actually your adiabatic, or what we call actually actual one will be the highest one. So if the actual efficiency of any reciprocating compressor is 60